Hey guys, Jeff here with Passive Income Unlocked, and this is update number 1 to the No Stone Unturned case study. If you missed the launch video, I do recommend going back and checking that out. I'll put a link to the description below. In a nutshell, the approach to this particular site, which we're calling site number 6, is to target one topic cluster at a time and cover it as thoroughly as possible before moving on to the next cluster. So in the past, with our other sites, what we would typically do is we would kind of start out the same way. So let's say we find 50 keywords or within one cluster. What we would do is find all the low competition keywords and we would write articles for those, and then we would move on to a different cluster. What we're doing differently with this one is if we have 50 keywords within a cluster, we're going to target all 50 keywords. The approach is a little bit different still. We won't necessarily have 50 articles, and I'll get into that in a second here. But basically, we're going to target all the keywords, and then we're going to interlink all those articles to try to build that topical relevance. So this is going to be a really short video because obviously we're 1 month in. We're not going to be getting traffic at this point or anything like that. Just kind of give you some updates, kind of show you what's going on. First screenshot I'll bring up here. This is the number of posts that we published so far. So roughly 40 posts, about 10 posts per week. We're publishing these posts as we get them in bulk, so we're not scheduling anything out like we would on our other sites. And then we're also interlinking the articles as we go. So we publish those first 10 articles, and we're going back immediately and adding relevant internal links. We post the next 10 articles, going back to the original 10 and adding internal links, and so that second batch of 10 and adding internal links as well. And we're just going to continue that approach. That's what we've been doing. We're doing this manually. We're not doing it with a tool like Link Whisperer, and I did put out a video about Link Whisperer, which is a great tool, but in this case we felt that it was important to add the links as we go, and because all the articles are so highly related, it's actually pretty easy to add them manually. So next, I know one of the big issues that a lot of people have with a brand new site, or one of the big concerns, is about indexing. So just to kind of show you where we're at in that regard, bring up a couple screenshots here. So it does appear that Google is picking up the articles very quickly for this site, which is great. We're seeing some impressions already and even a few clicks occasionally. And we're seeing even more impressions and clicks from Bing and Yahoo. So what we did when we first launched this site, the first thing we did before we even post our first article is we submitted the sitemap. So we created a Search Console account, I should say, and then we submitted our sitemap there. Then we also created a Bing Webmaster Tools account as well and submitted the sitemap there. That's literally all we did with Bing, and then we won't even open the account again probably ever. But by doing that, you're at least planting that seed and getting your name out there or whatever. And then the first 30 posts that we got back, we did manually submit those for indexing through Search Console as well, just to try to speed up that process. There's a lot of debate on whether or not that's even that works or if it's beneficial or whatever, and we're stopping after 30. Google seems to be indexing the site well now, so we're just going to leave it alone and let them pick up the articles on their own going forward. So just to kind of talk about some of the things we've noticed when prepping this site and publishing the articles and whatnot, that's a little bit different from what we've done in the past. So one thing that I've noticed personally, Ben and I do all the keyword research for all of our sites, and typically when we're doing keyword research, it's a real drag. Obviously, it takes a long time, and it's a really slow process, and you kind of don't look forward to doing it, and you're really happy when you get it done. I've noticed with this new site, it's been a lot easier, and it's because the approach is a lot different. And when I say keyword research, I'm really talking about finding the keywords and analyzing competition, so kind of as a whole. So with this new site, what we've been doing, it's kind of forced us to take a different approach. So we're finding all the keywords that we can find on a particular topics within a cluster, then we lay those out on a spreadsheet, and typically what we would do is then start to analyze the competition and then try to figure out the low competition ones to start targeting. But with this site, since we're targeting all the keywords, what we're doing is starting to group all those related keywords together. So by doing that, what we found is you might have a list of 1,000 keywords, and most of them have zero search volume according to the tools. But let's say that you have a list of 200 keywords that show search volume. You combine those, and at the end of the day, you might end up with 40 or 50 actual articles targeting those 200 keywords. So in the past, we would have had a list of 200 keywords. Let's say we would have found 20 of them that are low competition, and we would have written articles targeting those specific keywords, whereas now those keywords might be lumped in with other topics, and we're writing articles more in a topical approach instead of targeting specific keywords. So even the very high competition keywords that we typically say we're not going to go after that because there's too much competition, we'll never rank for it. Because we're lumping all these related keywords together, this one keyword up here that might be really high competition, we've lumped some lower competition keywords into that article as subtopics, and even some zero search volume keywords as well, and we're lumping those into subtopics into that article as well. So we're really not targeting one keyword anymore. We're targeting a bunch of keywords with every single article. So that's one thing we've noticed. And then obviously, because we're not worried about competition, we're not wasting our time doing competition analysis. We're literally just finding the keywords, and then we're just building our list, and then we're ready to outsource. With that being said, we are still checking the competition just to kind of get an idea. We're kind of ranking the articles saying this is low competition, this is medium, this is high, or whatever. But again, it's not 100% accurate because each article that we're outsourcing is targeting multiple keywords. So it's kind of hard to judge. But we are kind of ranking them so we can kind of go back and see which articles are bringing the most traffic, and are we bringing any traffic on the ones that we say are high volume, and so on. But probably the best thing that I've noticed with this particular site so far is it actually feels like we're creating a useful resource for the visitors. That's one thing that's always been in the back of my mind. When you're just targeting low competition keywords only, you might be posting articles that are very, very random, and they might be within a cluster, but they're still really random. And you might post article A, but that article A has no article B to link to because there's nothing that's related to that article, because that topic B might have been too high competition for you, so you never published it. Whereas in this case, we're posting on every single topic. So as I've been adding internal links personally, I've noticed that it's really, really easy to add relevant internal links. And actually, with our 40 articles already, we've got an average about 4 to 5 internal links pointing out from each one. So that's obviously huge. And because of that, it feels like we're creating a really useful resource to where if somebody does want more information, all that information is right there on that one site. They don't have to go anywhere else to find it. And of course, you have to think for Google, they're trying to rank the sites that provide the best resource for their users. So you have to think that's going to play into some extent, and that's kind of part of the case study here. So guys, that's really all I wanted to share, just a quick update. Nothing really to share as far as traffic or anything like that. We're only a month into it. We probably won't start seeing traffic till maybe month 3 or something like that. And even then, it'll probably be a trickle. But anyways, look for another update in about a month. We're going to try to do these updates probably once a month. Unless we start to see something happening on the site, then we might jump in a little sooner or whatever. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one.